Hey everyone, Coach Kim here. Today I'm going to show you a few Kaisa tricks that I've learned. I'm going to start with tips and tricks you can use with her W, Alt, and Evolution cancels. So let's get right into it. So the first trick that you can do in Kaisa, it's really basic. Most people know it by now. It's to flash during your W animation. So when you press W, there's a giant blue bar that pops up, and that's your startup animation. So it takes time for it to come out. So if you were to flash W, it would be really slow because you'd flash, and then the W would do the startup animation, then it would come out, right? So instead you want a W, and while the blue bar is active, you want to flash during it. So it's faster. W flash is always faster than flash W. For your Void Seeker, the W, it follows your cursor, not where you're aiming it. So if you aim it to the left, and then you flash past this point. So if I aim my W right here, but I flash over here, the W will actually go this way, because what's going to happen is my character is going to be here, and because my cursor was at this position, it's going to shoot this way. So I'm going to aim it like this, flash, and it shoots backward. So keep in mind, if you're doing flash plays with Kaisa, you gotta remember that the W follows your cursor, not where you aim it. A cool trick for faking your W is to control 1 during the W animation. When Kaisa shoots, she faces the direction that she's shooting in, but if you press control 1, she always faces this direction, right? No matter which way she's looking, if I control 1, she starts looking this way. So what you can do is, you can aim your W anywhere you want, and then if you do control 1, so right here, if I don't do it, she just shoots this way, but if I do control 1, she starts looking this way. So it looks really weird. It's a cool, neat trick if you want to like throw off your enemy. Just W, throw out the control 1, and it looks really stupid. But it might throw them off, and they might not dodge it because they'll think it's going the other way. That right there is the Phantom W. So it looks really weird because it looks like it's firing one way, but it's hitting the other. So if you saw, the W fires off visually, but when you flash it, the visual animation doesn't change, so it keeps firing, but the actual hitbox is invisible. So that right there is the Phantom W if you're hitting champions that are in a line like this. This is what you can do if you want to hit someone that's hiding behind another target. You do the Phantom W again. This time it's when they're in a line going left to right. Again, the visual W doesn't match, but the W, the real hitbox becomes invisible when you flash it. Hey, this is some post-recording footage. I was watching over the part where I was talking about the Phantom W, and I noticed that I only explained how it works. I didn't actually explain how to do it, so this little bit's going to be on how to actually do it. So what you want to do in order to perform the Phantom W is, it's not just W flash, right? Because that just redirects where you're shooting it from. It still follows your cursor, obviously, but when you W, you see the blue, hold on, turn minions off. When you shoot the W, you see the blue bar, right? Right when the bar is about to end, then you want to like flash. So for the blast cone W, you can actually W while you're in the air when you hit the blast cone. So what you want to do is, you're going to hit the blast cone and then W while you're in the air. The visual indicator for Void Seeker, just like the Phantom W, doesn't match. It's going to shoot it one way, but the real hitbox is still invisible. So you can get some really interesting hits with this. Just like that. Okay, on to Killer Instinct. You can actually use all 3 of your abilities while in your R. You don't have to land to use them. So I'll see a lot of people, when they ult in, they'll ult, and then they'll press their E, or they'll ult, and then they'll press their W, they'll ult, and then they'll press their Q. You can actually do all 3 of these while you're in the air. So You can do Alt Q, right there. It goes as I'm flying, or you can do Alt W. Instead of landing. Because remember, the W has a long startup, so you want to do it as you're flying and so you can hide the animation. And then same thing with E, right? You don't want to be doing that when you're right next to someone because you're not able to do anything. So you want to use your E while you're in your Alt animation so that when you do land, the E is already halfway done. So the next thing is how to mask your Void Seeker. You can actually hide it by Wing while in your R. Right? If you just shoot your W, they'll see it, right? So what you can do is, earlier I said you can Alt during your W, but this is another mix-up. Maybe you want to W first and then Alt in, right? So you can just WR really fast, and the W follows behind you, so it kind of hides it. One thing you can do to get a shield with your ult and not go to the enemy is, let's say you're fighting someone right here, right? And there is a guy over there. You want to escape maybe this way, right? Or this way, but you don't want to ult him because if you're ulting into the enemy, right, you're still in danger. So what you can do is you can actually flash out of your killer instinct and still get the shield. Like that, right? Or you could even do it on the spot, right? Like this. And you still get the shield, but you don't actually dash to the enemy, right? So this is if you don't actually want to go to the enemy, you just want the shield. This is something you can do when another unit is hiding behind an ally, is you can ult to them, right? Actually, let's move these guys farther back. So you can ult to this guy, right? And then instead of flashing in W, you want to, again, just W flash the animation. So what you can do is you can ult, and then of course you can W during your ult, and you can also flash during your ult. So what you want to do is you want to W flash during your ult to hit the guy behind him. And it makes it really fast, really clean animation. Another thing you can do with Killer Instinct is it's an auto reset. So you can auto R auto. Like that, really quick. This one's more basic, but you can use your Killer Instinct to go over walls. So instead of, let's say you're getting chased down the river, right? And, I don't know, you want to ult away or something. Say this guy's here, and he's on top of you. Instead of ulting away like this, what you want to do is you want to let him chase you a bit, right? And then maybe he follows you over here, and then instead you can just ult over the wall. That one's pretty well known, but if you don't, well, now you do. Now on to canceling the evolution animation. So every time you evolve, Kaisa does this whole animation where she can't move or do anything, right? So let's say you level up in combat and you want to evolve your Q, right? But if you're sitting there evolving, you're not doing any damage, so you don't actually want to do that, right? Press the evolve and then you instantly E. Just like that. So now I have evolved W and she didn't do the animation. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and yeah, thanks for watching.